back to the Liverpool Groove. International break is now over. Liverpool are back at the weekend. Very, very sad news. Never missed an international break before. But you know what? I was just saying before we started there, like the international break, I'll try and find a game that looks interesting on the telly, throw it on, watch England for a little bit, see if they get beat. When they start winning, turn it off, obviously. But for the most part, I'll tune into some of the footy while in the international break. This time I haven't bothered watching a single iota of football, and you know what? It's absolutely reinvigorated me. Like I'm ready to be hurt again at the weekend. But we'll come to that later. Gonna start. I know last time out we were very, very negative because I can't think of another way to phrase it. To be honest, we fucking threw our toys out the pram, and it was a shit show in that sense. So gonna start with something bit more positive today. Hopefully, anyway, should be mostly positive based on.
We'll see.
The... No, look. So essentially, look, FSG yesterday celebrated 15 years of being owners of Liverpool. You know, 15th of April 2010, we were in a fucking bleak time there. Roy Hodgson was manager. We were fucking going out the cup to Northampton, who were a formidable opposition. Oh, that sticks with me. It's ingrained in my head. But yeah, it was bleak. You know, they weren't even FSG. They were New England Sports Ventures. So a lot's changed in that 15 years. But for the most part, I think it's been more positive than it has negative with them in charge. I think obviously there's things they've got wrong, and they've held their hands up, and sometimes it's needed us as fans to let them know that they've got it wrong. But to be fair to them, it's not like when they have got it wrong, they've stuck to the guns. They've gone, yeah, we fucked up, and we'll change it. Ticket prices, the Super League, two fairly notable ones. Obviously, trying to trademark Liverpool itself. So it's not been all positive, but I think it's been massively positive for the time that they've been here. I think, making us such a massively self-sustaining model that they have. One of the biggest, well, we've always been one of the biggest clubs in the world, but now I think everybody realises we're one of the biggest clubs in the world again. Obviously, getting Klopp in, getting Slot in, there's been some absolutely fucking genius moves by them, in fairness. The stuff they've done to the stadium, the training ground, just, yeah, it's been good with them, and people will disagree with this, and I don't care. I genuinely, at this moment in time, wouldn't want anyone else owning us.
Yeah, I agree, lad. I think, as you say, they've done loads wrong, and when they've done wrong, the majority of the time they've listened to our voices and they've gone, we've fucked up here. They've come back with the tail between the legs and they've apologised a number of times. And yet, I don't think they've got that connection with the city and the club as such, because they do keep making these mistakes where it affects working class people and stuff like that. But when they do, we voice up, they hear us, and they make the changes. But again, the likes of ticket prices and stuff is a case of, if you don't keep putting them up, can you buy the best players and stuff like that? So there's two sides to the story. As a working class person who wants to go to the match, I think all tickets should be 30 quid forever, all man away. I think that should be the next thing, like the Spirit Shanking that look at. But in general, Fenway Sports and FSG, they've listened to the voices and they've gone, listen, we've got this wrong, go back on our word. And that takes a set of balls, because you've seen loads of owners come in, put their spin on a club, like Cardiff's changing the fucking kit colours and stuff, and listen to the uproar, and they just go, fucking, who are you to tell me what to do? I own this place, and it's staying. Or the badges getting changed, or fucking ground names getting changed, and as long as money's involved, some owners just go, I don't care what you've got to say. And these do. So I think in over 15 years, I was in Turkey when they took over, and we'd just been beat by Blackpool. I think Blackpool tonked us, and then Holloway left that message in Anfield, and there was loads of Blackpool fans there, and then it come up that we'd been taken over. At that time, it was like, I think Broughton and that had took it over. Was he from Chelsea? Had a connection to Chelsea, the banker, weren't he?
Yeah.
I think they come in, him and Perslow. Christian Perslow, was it? Yeah.
Perslow, yeah.
they come in, and then we got the ball rolling. So after the change, we finally got them out. These come in. Next thing you know, you've got Kenny Dalglish as your manager. You're winning trophies again, and you feel like you've been in a bad nightmare, and all of a sudden your dreams are coming true. You're watching King Kenny lift the trophy at Wembley, and then you go on, and eventually you've won the lot over the 15 years. You've got one of the best stadiums in world football, one of the best training facilities in world football, and they brought in some of the best managers we've seen. And yeah, I think overall, is there any better owners that haven't got like a open fucking purse where they can just spend what they want without earning it, and having the best solicitors and cheating and that? I can't see anyone as good as our owners in that aspect of things. This year, they've finally showed that they're not as tight as we've all made out they are, and they've gone out and we've gone into the market as champions, and we've bought some of the apparent best talent in the world. That's not on them whether it works or not. They've been told by analysts and fucking researchers and that these are the best about. They've said yeah to cashing the checks to get them done. They've been done. Imagine having to part with 120 mil for the playing. Imagine your stomach going when someone walks into the office and going, Dave said yeah, Leverkusen have said yeah. You're like, oh, you're kidding, aren't you? But they've done it this year. They couldn't have done this season. They couldn't have done any more whatsoever. I know people are moaning, saying we've got rid of players in the meantime, but our attitude is if players want to go, they go. We let them go. Luis Diaz openly wanted to go. So did Trent. And I'd say the same for no matter the ability. Once a player says, I don't want to be at your club anymore, it takes another set of bollocks to go ahead, there's the door. And I think we've done that a number of times as well. So fair play to them. Give them credit where it's due, mate. They've got us where we are now. And without them, it could have been so much different. We could have had a Saudi come in and earn nothing, basically win stuff, but without any pride and without any passion. And you've seen the difference in fan bases of the teams like that and ours. So I think we need to give credit where it's due, and I think thank them.
Yeah, absolutely. We've done it what you can call the right way. We've done it over time. We haven't just come in and bought success. We've earned the right to go out and spend like we have this summer. You get the likes of City and Chelsea with Abramovich previously, and now Todd Bowley. They just go out and spend and spend and spend, and they've done it for years. And it's never been our way. I don't think, no matter who the owner was with us, I don't think we'd adopt that approach. In all honesty, it's just never been what we do. We do it when we spend a lot when we have to, when it's necessary, but we don't just do it for the sake of it. But yeah, I think, yeah, like you say, they've done good by us. As fans, I think we'd always, when the questions were arising about them a few years back, and even, well, I say a few years back, not even that long ago, I guess, but people were saying, oh, FSG out and stuff like that. And they were saying who they'd want in. And it's like, as fans, I think we'd always want somebody who gets the club and who gets the city and things like that. But the problem is, you haven't really got a billionaire knocking about who grew up 20 minutes away from Anfield. It's just not a thing that exists, unfortunately. In an ideal world, yeah, that, fucking a lot of us can band together one day and buy the club somehow. But it's just, in the grand scheme of things, I've said it for a long time now, football is a business to these people. That's all they care about. They care about making money. But
we've also, we've seen with the likes of Everton, like when you've got a person who grew up in the area and is a fan and has got to part with their own money to like save the club and get the club to where it belongs, it's even harder, because you're trying to be that bit shrewder in making them decisions with your heart completely attached to it. And sometimes you're not thinking about money, you're thinking about other things, and you make the wrong decisions, and then you get absolutely fucking hounded out for it until you're dead. So, like, if I had all the money in the world and I could own Liverpool, I'd have me doubts, because what I think's right as a Liverpool supporter mightn't be right from a business point of view, and that's where it can fuck up. I think, I think you'd have to be very careful, and I think like you've got the business model in Germany where you have like 51% is owned by fans, don't you?
Yeah.
But that 49% of board members and people who have no business in that still have a massive, massive say. They probably give the fans the three options of sort of like, yeah, we do this or this. You can say yeah or no, but like we know what we're talking about, and you're just a group of people who think you know the ins and outs about footy. So you need to be business minded, and the structure for FSG have brought into Liverpool, even with the transfers and the transfer committee. We used to laugh at the transfer committee with Ian A and stuff like that. And then we've got Hughes and Edwards in, and you're like, wow, it's a different kettle of fish now. And you're seeing that little blip in judgment when was it Hughes who left, Edwards left, and Klopp took over all of it, and the signs we were making weren't working, and we weren't able to push on that level because the stats and that had all gone. It was all based on heart and passion from Klopp on these players he had a little thing for, and then he comes back and straight away we win the league, and we go and buy some of the best players out there.
No, that period of sort of, I suppose you can say, buying players for the vibes, it didn't really fare us well, and I think the biggest example of that was Darwin Núñez. It's very well reported now that he was very much a Jurgen Klopp sign, and he went against the data to sign him because he loved him as a player. And don't get me wrong, you do need some of that. And in fairness, I think at times this season we've missed that little bit of chaos sometimes. But the data is. It sounds boring, doesn't it? Like you're talking about buying players for the data, and it's like, I suppose it's the only reason why there's still a debate with Salah and Hazard, because they all go, oh, Hazard's great on the eye and he looks boss with the ball at his feet and this, that and the other. And we're like, yeah, but Mo Salah scores 25 goals a season and gets you 15 assists every season. I'd rather have like the whole point of football, as we say, is winning matches and scoring goals. I'd rather have somebody who does that consistently for 9 years than somebody who can do a fucking rainbow flick, turn around.
There's about 9 months between them, and Hazard's playing in charity games.
And still losing.
And looks like a fucking donut. Looks like an American police officer. The big fat tit. So how anyone can compare him to Salah is
I think it's
weird.
No comparison. I mean, even Ryan Babel looked better than him because he got the winner. Great finish, by the way. But
that's how much I've been off the footy. I couldn't even tell you what score that game was because I had no interest in footy of late.
I didn't know it was on until after it had finished, I'll be honest.
I just seen the Chelsea team and I seen the Liverpool legends, and I thought, well, good luck, because that is fucking ridiculous. That was like Champions League winning side, fucking verse, scam kids. But scam kids come up trumps now. So yeah, when you're comparing players to, it's lovely when players look easy on the eye and they look brilliant, but when it leads to he went like a year out of goal, didn't he? Like, you know what I mean? Salah's doing it week in, week out, and at this moment in time he's having a bit of a struggle. But what player doesn't? You know what I mean? He is getting a bit older. I think we're playing a system that doesn't suit him or anyone else. But yeah, I just think once we find our feet, inevitably Mo Salah will start firing again.
Yeah, I agree. To sort of pivot on from this FSG stuff then, obviously today the club have put out a survey regarding tickets and how they can improve it and this, that and the other. And it's caused a lot of, I don't know if anger is necessarily the right word. I haven't really looked into it all that much today, to be quite honest. But I think there's definitely some anger there. And I think the biggest one is obviously, one, the fact that it's going to every single member, which seems misguided, let's say. But also, what you were mentioning it there, the fact that there's talk of the 13 plus loyalty going, basically.
Yeah. It's a strange one. I think it's about the 5th survey I've filled in, and it gets nowhere. Nothing changes. as I've said a number of times, I think Spirit and Shankly need to be at the forefront of this and, you know, putting that out to their members and asking what they would like their members to put out. I want the union reps to be filling their form in on behalf of us, not on behalf of themselves, because they're all sorted for the match. So I'd like them to collectively get a group and average out the answers and then fill their form in based on that. And when they go to the board meetings and that, take a few with them and say, listen, this is the feedback we're getting. And it's nowhere near the same as what you're getting, because you're asking non-match goers and we're asking match goers, local match goers who are working class people who are fucking fed up of hospitality and tourists and stuff like that. So, yeah, in a nutshell, when you're asking 500,000 people about tickets and majority of them have never been to Anfield, they're obviously going to say and disagree that local match going people should have priority because they want a chance to go to the game, and I don't argue with that. You could be a massive Liverpool fan from Australia or from Africa or whatever, and you want the chance to go and watch Liverpool, but the likeliness of you coming every week is next to none. So for you to have a say in how it goes weekly shouldn't be possible, as far as I'm concerned. There's loads of things the club can do to make ticketing easier for us, to make more real supporters get in the ground above tourists, and they're not doing it, and they're not interested in doing it because we'd like to have our little traditions of going for a pre-match pint and then going in the ground and having a little bevy at half time. We're not going to go to the club shop before it or after it. If we're going to buy anything, it's going to be from a small local business, an independent business like Scousey Pub. I say to everyone, if you're going to the match and you're going past one of the stalls outside the ground, before going in the club store, go and buy a picture or a fucking painting or a scarf or a flag off them. Don't go in the club. There's no need to go in the club shop. It's fucking stupid. But yeah, there's so much the club can do, and that's where the club is so disconnected to the real people who go to match. There's the club's the biggest tout in Wales football, so we need to eradicate the people who are making them decisions to sell tickets onto third-party websites. You can go on Seating Plan and Inside Stadium, or whatever it's called, and buy 20 tickets together in some stands. It's impossible. There's not a tout in the world who can do that. So that's got to be from Liverpool Football Club. And when you do buy them tickets, it's Liverpool Football Club who send you the tickets. It's not them. It comes from Liverpool FC to your email address. So that's one issue we need to get rid of. Another issue is when you've got season tickets and members selling the tickets back. Liverpool are putting a 3-hour head start on your ticket and charging 750 quid. So you can get in the ground 3 hours before, and it's classed as hospitality, but it's the worst hospitality on planet Earth because you get a programme and a swig of warm ale at half time for 700 quid. So they need to bin that. They need to do the less hospitality. They need to make sure more supporters are getting in the ground before tourists. They need to make tickets available on the box office the week of the game. So you've got working class people who could have done a bit of overtime, who's never been able to take his son, might go, do you know what, I've got 150 quid extra this week, I can go to the match. And he can queue up for 5 hours and go and get a ticket and go to the game and live dreams. Because not everyone's got that money to be in a queue and be fucking you've got to register, then get a ballot. Not everyone's got the time and not everyone's got the money on the date you're suggesting we go for the tickets, you know what I mean? So if it's the week of the game and you might only be 10 people that week, you can do it, but them tickets will still sell out 100%. And what doesn't sell, say for instance we're playing on the Sunday, put 1,000 general sale tickets to locals up on the Monday, and if they're not sold out that day, whatever's left you put online and they sell. So they can't lose. And they need to split the hospitality and the women's footy away from Liverpool Football Club. Because I keep going to click on fucking matches and putting women's tickets in my bastard basket and then realising they're £9 and it's not to watch Liverpool. So, yeah, there's loads they need to change. It's just they've merged it all together and it's just all shite. And there's too many people who are losing interest, who can't spend hours on ending queues online, who can't keep going on the fucking laptop and on the phone while they're in work to try and register for ballots and shit. They're making it too difficult for people, and they need to change it.
Yeah. And it's not only, it's all of that is extremely fucking valid, as you say, but then, you know, there's also the thing that they don't consider is the ones who like can't access tickets in that manner. Like my dad, if he wanted to go to the game, he's never owned a phone. He hasn't got a phone. So like, how's he meant to do this fucking digital ticket without the phone? Like it's impossible for him, you
Hasn't
know
got
what
a
I mean?
phone.
Nah, never owned one.
That's great, that. Fucking great, that. No wonder he's always smiling.
I know, yeah. So yeah, it's something. I mean, we've harped on about this for fucking. We've been doing this podcast for 5 years, and it's been a talking point for 5 years at least. So, like we've spoke about it enough, and something does need to change. And like you say, these surveys they put them out all the time, and people answer, and you know you answer it honestly and truthfully and all that, and then absolutely, like you say, fuck all changes. If anything, it gets worse. So
It does get worse, lad, and they keep using like the Spine Cop lads images, the banners, the flags, all the pictures of when the scarves are up and when we've won titles and that. But that's only a snippet of like of the reality. That them lads have to fucking beg people to come and hold the flags up and that with them. The atmosphere in the ground is absolutely dying. And like obviously you've got Tottenham and that. Them games, they're hard to come by. Them tickets. It feels like at moments like that, you do end up with your proper supporters in the grounds, and the people who are paying grands for them, I'd be very surprised if they're sitting there silently, because you'd be a fucking dickhead, wouldn't you, really, to be fair?
yeah,
So I think for them, like, I paid 1,500 quid for 2 tickets for Palace for me and my dad. The thought of not being in the ground when I've been in the ground most of the season and not seeing us lift the league title, and the fact of being able to watch us lift the league title with my dad, something I've dreamed of since I was a kid. Money wasn't like the be all and end all. If it meant I didn't fucking pay bills, I didn't pay bills. I wasn't asked. I was living a dream. So I understand when people do it, but we were fucking crying, and screaming and laughing and singing our fucking heads off till we nearly burst because we love the team. And then you've got people who've got that money as loose change who aren't interested in it, and they're not there for the love of it, and they couldn't give a fuck what goes on, who are getting in there more and more and more and more. And that's a problem with the touting, and it's a problem with the club allowing them. So seeing a good survey today is ask people how you say Fazachley. If they get it wrong, if they don't say Fazach or Fazachley, they get jibbed out the turnstile stage.
yeah.
And so,
No, just make it a scout survey, innit? Like, is it Asda or the Asda?
yeah,
Is it home bargains or home and bargain?
get
Like,
that power on. You've got to relay his poem to him.
yeah,
It's not electric, it's lecky. But that's what I mean. And I mean, we've said before, like, it's not about where people are from or like how local they are. It's, for me, it's about the genuine passion they've got for the team and the support they're going to give. Like, it's like going and watching Blood Brothers and having your eyes closed and then getting off 10 minutes before you see the fucking brothers get shot. It's just pointless. You're missing what you're going for. I want to go and see my team and then clap them off at the end, win, lose or draw. And when you've got like you've got so many people that are from here that are that desperate to get home 10 minutes earlier and get out the traffic and that, get a train, get a bus, just fucking, or don't come at all. Go to the pub and watch it on the telly and give your ticket up so someone who wants to watch all the match can be there. So that was another solution today. Take BB guns in with you and you can shoot people with pellets who are getting off early.
I mean, that's something I've never understood. In all honesty, like, just like you say, even years and years ago, you'd see it, and you know, even back then, when you're paying 30 quid a ticket, and you're thinking, why would you leave? You paid your money to. Why leave early? Like, I don't get it. But even more so now with the fucking ticket prices the way they are.
I just like, I don't know. I honestly don't know what their feeling is like to go to the match, and we could be 1-0 up or 1-0 down with 10 minutes to go, and you've got people leaving. I just don't know how they get through the day to being able to do that. I couldn't peel myself away from my seat at that time. I couldn't debate it. Could never debate getting off. just couldn't. So I don't get it.
It's like a job, isn't it, though? Like, for some people, and I think you've spoke about it in the past about how it, to some people, going to matches is a chore. It's just something. It's part of the weekend routine kind of thing, and it's like, well, I've got to go. I've got to go fucking to Brody in the morning, and then I've got to go to the match, and then it's like, what do you mean you've got to go to the match? It's like you should want to go to the match. You know what I mean? And I think when people start treating it like that, you know, it's almost as if they're going, right, get an early dart from matches if you're going to work. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're right, lad. You're spot on. And again, that's why I'll never like question like fucking the geography of it, because a lot of locals are doing it as well to get home handy. And it is a chore. You've got people who are like for instance, if I was going on a fucking date or I was going on a date night or whatever, I'd either give me ticket up. I wouldn't get off 15 minutes before the end to make it on time. I'd be like, I'm either giving all my time to that thing or all my time to that thing. Like, being invested in it, make it your fucking whole day. And that's what we do. We go out before it, we watch the match, we sometimes enjoy the match, and we stay till the end, and we clap them players and that manager off at the end, and then we go and have our night and we talk about it. And you've got people who like getting in there 30 seconds before kick-off, talking through You'll Never Walk Alone, like laughing and telling them about the fucking weekends, and you're like, fucking go away. You shouldn't be in here. And I do understand that for people, for some people, it's the social side of it, and it does keep people going. And they love to spectate, and they do it as if they are in the pub. If that's the go to the pub. If you're going to treat it like you're in the pub, if you're going to sit and talk through the match and talk to You'll Never Walk Alone and show little respect for like proper supporters and that, then just go to the pub. If you want to be in the pub, just go there. So yeah, I think there's loads. I think another thing is that like the lack of kids being able to be together. So my dad always goes on about the boys' pen, and he used to fucking climb through what was the club shop and that now. Well, the cop bar now it is. He used to fucking burst the toilets and get through the ceiling and get dragged up into the stands, and you'd have groups of young lads together. Not many girls, I imagine, but yeah, now there's loads of girls go to the game and have a young adult's pen, if you want to call it that, a young person's pen, where 15 or 20 groups of mates can go and pay a fucking tenner each and get together in the corner of the cop and make some atmosphere, make some noise, and be part of it. Because fucking kids can't go to match without an adult, and then it's costing the adults like a ton 50 for 2 tickets, and you're in the gods, and you can't really have an effect on the atmosphere anyway. When you're trying to start a song up in the upper Annie, you get looked at like you're an absolute tit unless everyone else is already singing. So they need to make the cop special again. They need to prioritise that by doing it with your fans who go every week, each and every week. I think you should have to fill a fucking survey in before you're buying a cop ticket. Are you willing to stand for 90 minutes? Are you willing to fucking sing? Are you going to moan if someone stood in front of you? Are you going to moan if there's a fucking flag in front of you? And if you answer fucking the wrong answer to any of that, you can't get a ticket. And you should make the cop hostile. You should be able to punch people's heads in for doing your head in. I think that's fair. If you go over to fucking Boca Juniors, you're in their ultras section, they're bouncing and having flares and having drums, and you're stood there like a fucking wet lettuce, you should be able to fill them in. And I agree. I think you should. And it'll make them never come back. And that's what we want. We want the cop to be full of proper supporters. And if you're going to come into our place, our most hostile environment, where we hate the opposition and we want to will our team on to win, and you're going to come in there and disrespect us by sitting there with your phone and playing Snake and eating a sandwich, we are allowed to fill you in. I think that's how I think it should be, right?
Yeah.
Agree or not, I don't care.
I know you don't. No, there's all kinds of solutions, and I know. Was it fucking Transalpino went to Boca versus River Plate, didn't he, a few years ago? And that's exactly what happened.
Flagged, yeah.
And
they're no dickheads either then. None of them. They'll have gone with a good firm of lads who would have probably enjoyed a bit of the hostility in that and buzzed off it, but respected it. You're in their end, you don't know the fucking chants, you don't know the songs, you can have no influence to the atmosphere. Get out. And they got fucking turfed, and That's all I'm saying. I'm saying filling people in, yeah, that can probably come back on me, so I apologise. I mean, just a little fucking swift one to the back of the head.
No, I mean, I get the point that you're making now. It's like you say, there has got to be hostility in there. You've got to make the fucking opponents, whoever we're playing on the day, you've got to make them feel like it's a fucking hostile environment to come into. And if you've got sections of the crowd split up between people sitting there on the phone having a chat while the fucking game's on, and people trying to get the atmosphere started, it'll never get started. And we've seen it, like even in some of the bigger games in recent years, they've been flat atmospheres until something's happened. Like the Arsenal game a few years ago, when I think someone had a go at Trent from their team, and it lifted us and it pushed us on to win the game. But like a lot of games, we need something to happen in order for it to be a hostile atmosphere. And I get it with, like, the games that aren't as big, respectfully to some of the other clubs. Like if it was, for instance, Burnley at home, I don't expect the crowd to be overly hostile for that necessarily, unless someone like, unless fucking Josh Brown goes in 2 foot fucking slot or something like that. But the big games, it should be from the off, and there's a lot of games where it's not. So that's part of it.
That's the difference. But like, you've got me who goes to as many games as possibly can. You've got you who's as passionate as anyone. You've got people who go to matches to spectate, and I can hold my hands up and say I'm frustrated with the performances at the moment, and it's affecting my mood with watching the match and watching them because it's not entertaining me. But you've got people who go there, and if they're not being entertained, they will get a cob on and they won't clap and they won't make a noise. But then you've got your fans who go away every game, and it doesn't matter whether we get swatted every week on the road. They go, they fucking have a laugh with the mates, they enjoy the trip down there, they get in the ground. I don't think half them even watch the footy, they're just there to make noise and support the team in that way. And then regardless of the result, they come home buzzing and in a party atmosphere most of the time, and they're still singing their heads off, and they're loyal to the club, and they just love the club regardless of the result. And I think that's what we need more of in our ground. So whether you're being entertained or not, I'm a bit of a soul for myself. As I say, I haven't been looking forward to watching Liverpool for months and months now because the football's terrible and it just doesn't sit well with me that it's not the Liverpool way anymore under this manager. But you've got these people who will support Liverpool to the fucking the hilt, even when they're not playing good football. And as boring as it gets, they know that their job's to go there and support them, and they will do. So that's what we need to be filling the ground with, the people who they don't need a tackle or anything. They get in there and they know from the you'll never walk alone onwards. My job is to support this team, and when it's not going too well, we support a bit louder. And when there's big occasions, it goes louder again and again and again. And we've seen it happen. There is magic in Anfield. There's magic in that cop end that can win football matches on its own. You don't beat Barcelona 4-0 with Messi in the team. You don't beat Messi on his own 4-0 unless there's some sort of magic. So, yeah, we've proven it time and time again that when we need it to lift, it can lift. We just need it to lift a bit more. And I think you do that by putting the right people in and giving the youth of today a better chance of getting in there.
Yeah.
And
I agree.
by filling tourists in if they don't sing.
Filling anyone in if they don't sing. We do not discriminate. If you don't sing, you can get filled in. You can be from, you can live next door to Anfield. And if you're not singing, you're getting filled in.
I'll be the first to go, hey, fucking sing you, and they turn around and go, shut up, or I'll knock it out. I'll be like, sorry, mate. I do think that hostility, it used to happen years ago. You used to have lads like knocking phones out of people's hands out and that, but it's starting to, we're the minority now who are going in there to support more, and you've got families and that getting in there, and I do think it just needs to be, a polite notice from the club. Listen, you're going in the cop at your own risk, and if you're not doing what the locals expect from you, there might be a bit of fucking hostility towards you. So our suggestion is get in there, wave your fucking scarf around. If it's half and half, we set you on fire. But yeah, they're there to support the team, and if you're not going in there to support them, then you might expect a few bricks
Well, I agree with the majority of the things you just said there. There's a rather level-headed debate for once, to be honest. I was expecting us to go into overdrive at that, negativity-wise, but no, I think we made our point there. Speaking of negative, let's talk about the actual football, shall we?
Oh God.
So, last game was Chelsea. Probably went how majority of us expected it to go. Which was absolutely fucking woeful again. Not going to talk about it too much. Quickly go over the goals. They were shit from our perspective, of course. The first one just let who was it? Caicedo. Just let him just run and run and run. Absolutely no closing down whatsoever. Great strike. Got to give him credit for the strike. Nothing Mamardashvili could do about it. But the fact that we just let him do it was just absolutely fucking baffling to me. I couldn't understand it at all. People are having a go with rival fans mainly, having a go with Van Dijk for it. Van Dijk's was in that position. Damned if he did, damned if he didn't, because if he leaves the man open by going to Caicedo, then he slips him in and he's got an open goal essentially. So it was. I don't think you can portion too much blame on him, but overall it was just a very poor goal to concede. And then the second one, again, poor from Robbo at the back post, not being aware of his man being there. Poor from everybody else letting the cross get that far. It was just a shit show again. But it was coming. You felt it. You knew how the game was going to go. I didn't even really react when they got the winner, to be honest, because I expected it. I knew it was coming. I knew we would lose that game eventually.
It's scary to think like that, isn't it? Because, like, say, their goal, we had a bit of the ball for a bit, and then we didn't look dangerous one bit, not remotely dangerous at all. And then Caicedo's running through, and we're stepping off, and we do it over and over again. We done against Bournemouth, we done against Palace last year. It's just we're conceding too many goals by not committing to winning the ball back. Got two centre halves who were fucking massive, who were splitting in half to let him shoot. Both of them done the same thing, and none of them went towards the ball. They both split and both faced away from the ball like a pair of shit houses. But unbelievable strike. Half time, I turned it off, and I couldn't tell you their goal or our goal because I wasn't interested. I knew we'd lose. I knew we weren't playing football, and we weren't looking like a team who was going to try and win a game of football. So I turned it off, and I knew we'd lose. I knew we weren't going to win it at the very least. So yeah, I haven't seen their goal or our goal. I haven't looked at the highlights. I haven't looked at the stats. I have literally lost complete interest in that team playing footy because they're not playing footy. So I'm glad the international breaks come at the right time for us. I haven't watched none of that because I've been depressed because of Liverpool, and I'm looking forward to the United game now. Our manager has got to prove himself that he can make a gang of fellas play footy, because at the minute he's still managing like it's not his team, and he's playing a system that doesn't suit any footballers in today's game unless you're Burnley or Stoke. So I don't get why we've got all these brilliant players and we're playing that way. It doesn't protect any of them, doesn't help any of them. He's playing a system that doesn't suit any of them. Not one player in that team is familiar with that negative style of play. So I just think it's time for the manager to go, listen, we've got nothing to lose. There's a bit of pressure on us. Few nerves are shot. Let's go and fucking batter someone. And if we play a style of play that makes us look like we're trying to batter someone and it doesn't quite work, at least people will identify it and go, they're trying something. But of late, I haven't known what we're trying.
No, and I think that's the thing, isn't it? We heard all last season about how second season slot was gonna be this unreal football, and we seen what's annoying is we've seen glimpses of it in pre-season. We were knocking the ball about, and it looked fluid, it looked fantastic, and you were excited for the season. And then the Palace game happened, and it just the Community Shield happened, and you're like, all right, but yeah, Community Shield, you'd let that fly. The new signings looked all right in that game, but overall it wasn't a great performance. And then it carried on to Bournemouth, but you get the win, and then it carried on, and the performances got worse, but the results were still coming. And then now we're in a stage where we've lost 3 in a row. The performances have still got worse, but we haven't been able to score enough goals anymore. And it's like it's been a downward trajectory from the very first game this season. Now is the time where we've got to try and turn it around, because the international break, like you said, come at the right time. I think there's been some players that have gone away and performed well for the countries. McAllister being one of them. Got a couple of goals the other night. Whether he'll start Sunday, I don't know. But yeah, a few of them have gone away, done well. And we've got this game on Sunday. It's either going to be the sign that we do know what we're doing and we absolutely fucking annihilate them, or it's going to be the single worst game of football anybody's ever witnessed on the planet.
I'm nervous because I think Man United, in the state they're in, they've got an identity, and whether it's working or not, they've got an identity, and I think they don't do too bad against teams that sit in. I think they struggle more when teams really go at their defence, and we don't. We don't look like we've got an attacking bone in our body, or an attacking player, or an attacking mindset. So I just think it might if you're the Man United manager, you're saying, listen, fucking go at them, because at the minute they can't defend. They've got no real structure, and they've got no real outlet to get you on the counter. So I think go at them, and at the very least, stay tight at the back, and they don't get near you. And that's where I'm at with us at the minute. I don't think the wide players are sort of playing wide, but when they get the ball, they want to cut inside. The full-backs do the same. Instead of overlapping on the outside, when Salah or Gakpo got the ball, the 2 full-backs cut on the inside of them, but then Salah and Gakpo cut on the inside with the ball, and they're all just inside, and there's no one's back on the outside. So I'm open for drastic changes. I'm open the managers maybe seeing a little bit of a few of the podcasts that are going around, and a bit of the feedback the fans are saying, and the majority of us are bored stiff of the football and a bit panicky because we've got on paper one of the best football teams on planet Earth. I think we give any aliens a battle on paper. The team's absolutely outstanding on paper, and it should be doing a lot better than it is. And fully get it's going to take time. It's really going to take time for them all to gel, but we need to see the system looking like it's getting going, that he wants them to play. And at the minute, what he's playing doesn't suit any of them. I think Isak looks lost. He's being asked to run around like a donkey. And again, when you look at that, and you look at the lack of chances Nunes and that got under Arne Slot, does the system fit any of them? I don't know. You've got attacking players who want to express themselves with the ball and in attacking positions, and we don't seem to want to get in any attacking positions. So I agree with your point before about Nunes. I think at the minute, if you've got Nunes or Isak, one of them's going to trot around and wait for a chance in the box, and one of them's going to sprint after every fucking loose ball and chase every man down until he can't run anymore. You'd be wanting Nunes at this moment in time. But no, that's not to knock Isak. I just don't think this system fits his style of play. He's not a runner. He's not going to kill himself to run off the ball. He'll do everything he can with the ball, but not off it. So we need to be on the ball, and our manager is quite happy to give that up for the majority of most games so far. So we just need to have a fucking good look at ourselves and go, this is not how Liverpool should be playing football.
Yeah. You know what else kills us, I've noticed though in games, is whoever's starting up front, whether it's Isak or Ekitike, or even last season if it was Nunes or Jota or anyone else, they're always, because the players are so interchangeable with each other and so involved in the play, whoever's up front ends up coming deep or ends up on the left to get the ball because they want to be on the ball rather than staying central as a striker. So then you've got Isak on the left wing looking for somebody in the box when it should be fucking him in the box. He
Yeah.
should be the one getting looked for. Like, and that's what kills us a lot, because he's then got to give it to somebody else to get himself in a better position. And by the time he gets himself in a better position, we have somehow managed to fucking pass it back to the goalkeeper. Like, what was it? Did we have a corner or something a couple of games ago, or a free kick or something, and within 3 passes it was back to the keeper from an attacking corner, and it's like, what? How have we done that? Why have we done that? It just didn't make any sense.
But it's frustrating when you're losing games or you're not winning games, and every point is vital, and you have got us stroking it round the back on like the 75th minute and 80th minute, and you're like, fucking do something. Like, you've got, I've said it loads, Kanate is my sort of scapegoat this year. I think he's absolutely shite, and I think when he's on the ball or near our box, I'm a nervous wreck. He's holding onto the ball for too long, and he's stuttering and fumbling and just being shite, basically. But I think I'm a bit harsh on him because he's doing me head in with the contact situation as well. So I've just lost a lot of love for him. I'd like to see him out the team. But I think we're doing a lot of that.
I think he will be anyway, to be fair. Sorry to just jump in. I think he's picked up a knock on him anyway. So
I know, well, that was the only good thing I thought come from the Chelsea game. He got kicked in the box, and I was...
Yeah.
was it Galatasaray?
I can't remember.
I'm not sure. He got kicked anyway, and I was part delighted. So yeah, I think we could do with him being out the team for a bit. But I think I am being a bit harsh on him. I think he's made loads of mistakes, but loads of them have. So I think I am being a bit harsh on him.
I think he notices more though, because it's in defence. Like, if Szoboszlai fucks up at the edge of the 18-yard box, yeah, you're annoyed, but it's like, it's at the edge of their box. Whereas Kanate, he's making a mistake in front of our goal or in front of our own 18-yard box. You notice his mistakes more than a lot of other players because of the position he plays in.
But his mistakes are like Sunday League mistakes, lad. Like, misjudging the timing of a bounce of that and stuff like that, and like jumping too early and fucking daft stuff that like you could teach a toddler. So that's where me issue lies with him. But as I say, hands up, I think I've been a bit harsh on him. I think this contact situation is a bit of a piss take. But again, that's on Liverpool. So they should have sold him in the summer if he weren't going to sign. But yeah, I think the football we're playing round the back, and it, like, if you think of Newcastle with Isak, you've got Anthony Gordon who wants to take the ball to the corner flag and get it in, and you've got Murphy on the other side wanting to do the same, go up the wings and put the ball across the box. We've got Gakpo and Salah who want to get to the edge of the box, cut in and shoot on the other foot. There's never an incest of, and then you've got Salah and Gakpo who both do the exact same pass outside of the foot to the back post, and Isak's always on the other post. So,
do you think it's a part problem then, having two what you'd probably consider like goal scorers on your wings? Like, you look at when you had Diaz there, Diaz would look to do, to an extent, what Gordon and Murphy did, get to the byline, cross it in, although when he got to the byline, he'd beat his man, go back and beat him again, and then beat him again, and then he's beat him 16 times, and then we've lost the ball, and it's 3-0. But I said it a few weeks ago, we're missing somebody like Diaz, somebody who will get the ball and drive you up the pitch.
Do you know who we're missing?
Who? Go on.
Diaz.
Yeah. Novel thought. But we are.
I said before he went, I knew he was going because I knew he wanted to go, but I think he wanted a fresh challenge. So you can't keep him if he wants out. But I said I was quite happy to see him go for the money we got for him, because I think he was a frustrating player in the sense of goes past the play and you know what he's going to do. But fucking hell, he grafted, lad, and he made that wing look his own. Gakpo's not doing it for me this season. He's just not looking like a Liverpool quality player. He shows snippets of it, but it's not enough. And Salah on the other side at this moment in time has been poor. But again, you can give him 6 months grace if you want until he performs and see how he goes. But he's been shite since February last year. Really, he hasn't.
Yeah,
really,
since the AFCON. As always.
He hasn't really fucking got going with us. You know, he absolutely battered the first half of the season, and he come up with some important moments in the end of the season. But overall, since February, he's been poor.
We all have to, again, want to point that out. I think mentioned it last time. Since PSG away, we've been poor.
Yeah.
And again, the only game I can say categorically where we haven't been poor was Tottenham.
I think you've made too many changes in the sense of your pressing players and the likes of your Harvey Elliott and your Diaz's and your Nunez's. That's all your energy out your team. We're relying on, when they were on the pitch, they just sort of naturally done that. That was part of them. McAllister doesn't really do that. He sort of stays still. Gravenberch presses towards the halfway line, but nowhere else. So Bosli's the donkey who's being told to run for both of them. Isak's not going to do it. Ekitike doesn't really do it. Salah's not going to do it, and Gakpo doesn't do it. So we're relying on. It's almost as if the manager's gone. None of you are going to fucking do it. So number 8, just do it, lad. Just go everywhere. Do as much as you can and cover it all. And if it drops, we'll try and hope that one of these are going to fucking grab it and run with it. But yeah, as I say, my big issue is just the lack of system, and I'm hoping the manager's turning up to Sunday with a bit of a point to prove, and he's a little bit angry and he's a bit fed up that he's got all these world-class players and the system he wants to implement, he can't because they haven't quite got it yet. And I think I've said to you before, under Klopp, we were able to flick a switch and we were either good or bad at times, but when we were good, we were fucking unplayable. No one could live with us. With Arne Slot, I feel like we could lose nearly every game the way we play, but we've also got the capability because of the quality in the side to nick every game. So we could go unbeaten now and win fucking 15 games on the bounce, 1-0 if you want, but we could also equally like have a bit more ball than everyone and get beat 1-0 every game. So I just don't know where we're at. I don't know what level we're at yet, but I don't think it's champion winning level by any means.
No, not at this moment in time.
The other big teams in the league look better than us. As a system, as a unit, as a football team. So, he's got to look at them and think, where can we be better than them? And again, we ridicule Arsenal for finding strength in set pieces and being good at them and winning games because of them. But at the minute, play to your strengths. We're not playing to any of ours. I think Kerkez and Gakpo have both had little subtle digs in the international thing, saying like they've enjoyed playing for the countries because they play the sort of styles that they want to play. They want to be on the front foot, they want to be attacking, they want to be going up the wings. And Liverpool don't do that anymore. So I think if in this manager's system, I said it the other day, if you're gonna have your wingers cutting in and your fullbacks cutting in, fuck them off. Don't have wingers. Just go right to the middle. Fuck the bit off of going out wide to come in centre. Just go centre and play like a 4-2-3-1.
Yeah.
Or a 4-2-2-2 and have like a diamond behind 2 players and have weight behind the Isak and Ekitike. But it's so frustrating, lads, because you can put all them players all around the pitch and most of them can play anywhere on a football pitch, but that the manager's got to say, if this was me against Man United, I'd go into the game and go, listen, these are really struggling, but they have got an identity. Be cautious of them because they've got some decent attacking players, but go and kill them. Go and absolutely batter that defence. It's shite. Go at them non-stop. And when you can't go anymore, tell us and we'll bring you off to someone else who just want to go at you for 90 minutes. And that's what Liverpool should be doing to teams, especially teams like Man United at Anfield, when we've had a blip and we need to go and fucking make a statement.
Yeah, definitely. With that being said then, have you got a preferred team in mind for Sunday?
Yeah, I'd be starting. It depends, obviously, if we're playing the way I want to play with the wingers going up, starting Kerkez, starting Frimpong. Conor Bradley's a disaster at the minute. He's just a yellow card in everything he does, and I think he'd get booked in the first 10 minutes. He's having a travesty of a time.
Yeah, he is.
Terrible. Frimpong, don't get me wrong, has been nowhere near what we need for a right back. He's been like a kid who's won a competition, but he's a bit more level-headed and he's not just going to fucking fly at someone. So I think from an attacking style of play, I'll be playing 4-1-2-1-2, right? 4-1-2-1-2, 2-1-2. Keirkes, Frimpong out wide. Endo or Gomez or fucking Phil Babb or Stiggen Bjornaby, anyone on the right side of centre half. Van Dijk left side of centre half. Gravenberch in the holding position. I'd have Curtis Jones and Szoboszlai, the other two. I'd drop McAllister, I think he's been dog shit. And I'd have Florian Wirtz above Isak and Ekitike.
Yeah.
Well, below, in between them.
Yeah, behind them.
That's how I'd do it. I'd have him as a slap bang number 10, get the ball to me and let these two brilliant forwards peel off me and get in. And that's what I'd do. And if it's not working, then I'd go back to our 4-3-3 and you'd introduce Salah and Gakpo. And you see what they can. And that's the beauty of Arne Slotter's. Klopp used to have a plan A and only a plan A. And if it wasn't working, he made a few substitutions, but it was plan A. I think Klopp's got it in him to tweak positions and stuff. You'll have to give me a minute because I've got a crying dog who needs a wait. God, trying to go for the piss. Yeah, 1 sec.
Yeah, I agree with the squad overall. Reece Williams is still knocking about. I'd start him. Jay Speedon's just played 2 games this week. He can play a third.
Isn't that Phillips on loan or has he gone?
He's gone, unfortunately. He's no longer ours. What we could love the Bolton Brazy right about now. Now, something has got to change, as you say, whether it's a formation thing. We need to start playing to these unbelievable players' strengths. I've Wirtz as just a slap bang number 10. I don't know if you've seen Ted Lasso. Fucking brilliant, by the way, watch it. But Jamie Tart in that, when he stops being a fucking dickhead, says, stop playing to him and play through him. Like, let him be the fucking playmaker, let him dictate everything. And that's what we need to do with Wirtz. He needs to start dictating it because he's making the chances. He's got the fucking most chances created in the Premier League this season, along with Grealish. So it's not like he's not an issue. Well, I mean, he is an issue to an extent, but he's not a major issue right now. He's doing his job. Everybody else around him isn't. And
I've got no issue with him at all. I think he's a little bit lightweight and he's being asked to play the role at sometimes of a 6 and 8 and a 10. And he's starting to get used to our speed and our fucking environment and how physical it is in the Premier League whilst laying the position where you're fucking here, there and everywhere, and that's not his game, lad. He's either out on the left or he's in the middle, like right behind the strikers. Get him on the ball in the middle of the park. We've discussed it. Sometimes he's like a level ahead like Thiago and he'll play that ball where a magical footballer goes, I'll put that there and someone with a brain will get on it, and our team hasn't got a brain at the minute and it's just not. And as time goes on, someone will make that run. Someone will be there and he'll get onto it and he'll start ripping teams apart. But the manager's got to take the shackles off and let them play that way. I feel like if Wirtz gets the ball behind Isak and Ekitike, he'd be almost willed to go backwards.
I know what you mean,
It's like, and I know it sounds over the top and it sounds stupid and it sounds like a big, massive overreaction, but I just do think with that course at the moment that it is negativity. And I think the negativity is going through the squad where they're all shit scared to go forward in case they make a mistake. So we're playing it round the back and we're still making mistakes. Nearly every chance we've conceded has been through our own error and not because the other footy teams ripped through us or done anything brilliant. We've just fucked up somewhere to let them in and we're getting punished for it. So as soon as we tighten up at the back, you know, it's not hard. If you've got Keirkes and Frimpong bombing up and you've got Konate and Van Dijk together, throw Gravenberch or McAllister or whoever as a third centre half, let them come in when they're counter-attacking us and expect your fullbacks to try the very best to get back. You end up with 5 at the back and your midfield. It's not hard. We're just so cautious at the minute to attack that it's killing us. actually killing our game, and it's killing the entertainment value of football for me. And as I said the other week, it is. I think it's the worst footy I've seen since Hodgson at Liverpool. I think it's that bad. It's literally terrible to watch at times. And they have a 5-minute. I think if you can combine the 5 attacks we'll have throughout the game and split them into minutes, we probably have a 5-minute spell in a game where we look a bit good, we look a bit dangerous, and then the rest of it you're just thinking, I know exactly where you should go with that ball now. A normal footy player with an attacking mind does a fucking spin and goes to that left corner, but I know you're going to pass it straight back to Van Dijk, aren't you? And then you go, right, you to you, back to Van Dijk, back to Canate, back to Alisson. And you're like,
it's monotonous, isn't it? Like it's just, it's routine for them, and that's the problem. It's just too strict at the minute.
Yeah, that's
there's no expression. There's no freedom with any of them. It seems. If you haven't got an open man, pass it backwards, and that's the difference with Vert. In fairness, is he loses the ball a lot because he's the only one actually trying to get us forward on pretty much every time he gets the ball. He's passing it forward all the time, and it's getting cut out a lot, or it's getting cleared, or whatever's happening. But he's trying. He's trying to get us up the pitch, and he seems like the only one doing it.
But that's where another thing is our like tactics are a bit different than other teams. Whereas other teams gamble that attacking player could lose the ball, and they have someone ready to mop up and win that bounce. So Vert loses the ball, the pass gets intercepted, or it ricochets off someone. We've got no one within 10 yards of where that ball's going to go and attempt to win the ball back. And that's the difference in our system. We used to have a 3-second rule, didn't we? If you've lost the ball, try and win it back in 3 seconds. Be close enough to that area that you can win it back in 3 seconds. We've no longer got that. Like, it frustrated me the other day where I think it was Conor Bradley cut inside of Salah. Salah was out wide, and instead of cutting inside, he went out wide. And then his next pass was Conor Bradley about 25 yards away. And then there was no one from the midfield coming towards him, no one from the forwards. And it was just Salah with 3 men around him by the corner with no pass on. And you're like, how the fuck have we got to this position with no men following up to where the ball is? So I do think it's very robotic at the minute. It's very, don't step out of line, stay in your position, stay in your zone, and don't go out of it for any reason. And I think that's probably part of the problem.
Yeah, definitely.
It could turn around in a flash. They could have been doing remarkable training, and while they're on international duty, they're getting fucking videos of drills that been, tactics and that, and they all come back and they go, right, we're going to implement this for this week. We're going to train our ass off, and we're going to go and batter Man United. I want you doing this, and it might just click, but it's got to be, the manager has got to give them the freedom, as you say. I think it's him holding them all back, and don't think any of them look like they're enjoying the football anymore. None of them are smiling. Like, there doesn't look like there's any enjoyment in the game, and I can understand it, because even playing at the very worst level, if you're on it, like I played on Tuesday, 7-a-side, it was like PE teachers playing 4-year-olds. They absolutely obliterated us. We had 3 53-year-old men, no runners and no players who want to attack. We had all the lads who want to just stay at the back and pass the ball 5 yards, and that's what our game was. They had lads who could run in and out of every single one of us, neg us, and then score. And after the first of their 10 goals, we were like, when are we going to change this now? Like, because this obviously isn't working. We've got no runners, no fit players, no attacking players. You've got all of them. So, let's mix it up a bit. And I think it's not enjoyable when you're playing in a team that doesn't want to attack. Any football team on the planet can stroke it round the back for 90 minutes. It's boring. Yeah. It's literally boring. We're not creating enough chances. We're not going at goal enough. We're not shooting enough. We're not getting, we're not as dangerous from set pieces as we used to be. Used to feel like if we got a corner, we had a chance. Now, we're not winning anything. If we're heading, we're getting sitters where we're putting it wide. I just think at the minute, something drastic's happened in terms of the tactics. and can't put your finger on it because I can't physically see what the tactics are.
Yeah. As you say, there's got to come a moment where it all clicks, and hopefully it's Sunday, and we fucking can repeat the 7-0 from a few years ago.
I just appreciate 7 touches of the ball in their box. Yeah, I do think it'll come good. I've got no doubt Arne Slot will try his best to get us playing like his Feyenoord team, and we'll be playing one such fucking thrilling, enjoyable football, and this will just be a bump in the road after you've just won a league title and you're all moaned, which is crazy. But as I say, the football value, I want it soon. I want to enjoy watching Liverpool. I want to go into a match thinking we could absolutely obliterate these and we'd be bombarding their goal and it'd be all exciting and enjoyable. And at the minute I don't. So I'm waiting for that moment when he implements that style with these players and it all clicks. And if it doesn't, it's been a massive fuck up. And we go back to the drawing board and we see what happens, because these players were bought to fit a system. And I think I said to you a couple of weeks ago, with the system he's playing and he's sticking with, I almost feel like he hasn't bought none of these. I feel like he's been told you're getting them and make do with them because you're getting them. And it looks as though he's not going to play a system to suit them. So fingers crossed that system does come and we get the best out of these players, because if we do, no one's getting near us.
Yeah.
That's the reality. That's the frustrating part, is you look at them on paper and you're like you couldn't even put that team together on Champ Man because it'd be illegal. They just say you can't have that many quality players in your team. Fucking pack it in, will you? We've got them all and we need to utilise them and work to the strengths. Well, if we need to let them gel in training. Florian Wirtz is what, 110, 120 mil. He's got loads of pressure on him. Isak got loads of shit from the press, loads of shit from Newcastle, loads of shit from Sweden fans because of the way he's conducted himself. Forget the money. Take them out the limelight. Take them out the firing line for a little bit. If they're not performing, take them out. Let them train. Let them work hard. Do what we've done with Robbo. Say it all the time. Robbo come in for a week and then was out for fucking 10. And then he come back in. And he was Robbo. We integrated them into the style of how Liverpool play. We've got to do that with these players. If you're trying to do it on a footy pitch in the Premier League, it's not going to work. You're going to have to do it in training. If you have to play games behind closed doors in training, fucking do it. Get these lads playing the Liverpool way soon.
Yeah, I agree. I have no more to add to that because I can't. There's just you've summed it up very well. So before we wrap up, I have got a question for today. This one was unsolicited. I didn't even ask for them. So, but this is from Kev. Nice little. Well, it's not that nice, really, but is now that I think about it, but it'll invoke a bit of a reaction anyway. So, what is the biggest decision we would have benefited from in our lifetime had VAR been in place? He did initially say for him it'd be the Rodri one. Then I had to remind him that Rodri took place when there was VAR, which, the fact that it was fucking allowed to stand and wasn't looked at by VAR and stuff like that. I can understand why he thought it wasn't in place, but the one example he has give would be Sterling against City.
Yeah.
In I think was it 13, 14?
A decision that's not gone our way.
That we would have. So one that would have a decision that we would have benefited from if VAR was in place. So something that would have changed. So obviously, like the Sterling one that he's mentioned, would have been probably one of the it is one of the most significant ones because he was about a mile onside. I remember it very, very well. It was disgusting.
To be honest, off the top of my head, I can't think of many more.
No, I don't think there's too many more. The ones that come to my head are ones where VAR was in place anyway, and it just still fucked up. Like one for me that always gets me, but VAR was in place, was fucking the derby behind closed in lockdown at Anfield. Calvert-Lewin need fucking strength in the back of the head and got a pen for it.
I think most of the ones, when I think back, I think we've got away with a few. I always remember our goalie swatting the ball in the derby and it hitting John Hutchinson in the back and looping over and going in, and before it crossed the line, the ref blew for full time.
Yeah, fucking hell.
And he blew the ball was in the air, lad, and he blew for full time. Fucking great that.
To be honest, now that you say that, on this topic, there probably is more we can look at and go, it would have went against us than
Yeah,
that it
Garcia.
benefited us. I was just going to say Garcia
Garcia's goal. I think
was over the line.
like imagine that. Like I don't even think VAR would, obviously they'd have had the fucking thing, wouldn't they?
Goal line
crossed
technology.
the line or not. Now with goal line technology, if the ball hasn't crossed the line there, would they have given the pen and the red card that they should have given?
Well, there's where VAR probably would have come into it then.
Yeah.
So,
it's no goal,
again,
but you've got a pen and red card.
Yeah. One that again wouldn't be VAR, but it'd be goal line technology. For me, Carroll, FA Cup final.
Yeah. See, everyone I'm thinking about, FA
Cup
final, Honcho and Bournemouth, Thierry Henry, it would be a penalty against us. Can't think of anywhere. As much as there's probably loads and loads, lad. I just can't draw.
No.
I always think back to the
Again, the only ones I can think of is ones where they fucked up and VAR has been there. Like the fucking Spurs offside the other year, as I say, that penalty for Everton at Anfield that year, fucking the Rodri handball, as I say, it's like there's not too many where it's off the top of my head gone against us, where it sort of changed the course of your season kind of thing, you know what I mean? Obviously, the Sterling one, I think would have done. I think it would have been. I think it would have either been level with them or a point ahead of them if we'd have gone on to win that game because of that goal kind of thing. So, yeah, I don't know. That is the only one that comes to mind.
Was VAR in when Mane kicked Ederson in the neck?
No, it wouldn't have been.
I don't think that was a red card. Fucking hell.
Yeah, just switching music them.
Would have overturned that.
I know, yeah. Switching music and it's sound.
I honestly can't really think of any.
You know what? We'll probably end this and then go, fucking hell, there was this one and that one. And
when you think of the mistakes, I remember Quansah. Who was it against? Against Andy Robbo against fucking Welbeck against Ipswich. Was it Ipswich or Leicester? And he fucking literally scraped his toenail.
Watford.
Was it Watford?
I think it was either Watford or he might have been at Brighton at the time still.
That might have been Brighton, lad, yeah. And he's literally hit him on the toenail and he's gone down.
Because he's gone to clear the ball, hasn't he?
But I think
VAR might have been there. For
VAR was there and give it, yeah. So I think there's too many where VAR have fucked up and give it.
So in conclusion, VAR has been worse for us getting rid of it.
Yeah.
Good question. Oh, you know what? I wish I fucking spend my weekend going back and fucking watching matches and that. We'll try and come up with some better answers for that next time, Kev, because I'm sure there has been other occasions where something's happened.
Because I used to fucking watch Man United, and anything they were doing, I thought if they lost a point, it would be beneficial to us. So I think I don't know whether it was Tottenham. I was shot from like the fucking half.
Yeah, it was Pedro Mendes. No, it was Roy Carroll.
Was it Roy Carroll? Yeah.
He's dropped it and it's gone 3 miles over the line and
pushed it out like that, and he's not give the goal.
It's not even that. He's went to catch it, fumbled it, and it's dropped over the line by about 1.5 miles. And then he's picked it up out the goal, and he's just went, nah, it's no goal. It's sound.
No goal. Yeah. So I think that possibly might have been.
See, I think there's been examples that I can think of that wouldn't have had any effect on us. That I think VAR would have got obviously involved in if it had been in place. Like one for me, which ironically involves Pedro Mendes again, Ben Thatcher. I don't know if you've probably seen the video where he just fucking runs over to him and elbows him. Like he's just they're both going for the ball, but Pedro Mendes has pretty much got it. Ben Thatcher's pelting it over to him and just goes fuck off, knocks him out cold, and the ref's like, yeah, sound that, don't worry. I think he gives him a yellow card, and Ben Thatcher goes away complaining about it. I'll send you the video.
Even the when I'm thinking back, I remember Dirk Kuyt flying in fucking chest height at Neville, and didn't even blow his whistle.
I remember it, like, because I'm sure I'm sure it's a picture. He looks like he's doing a slide tackle in midair.
Yeah, it's like a Firmino celebration.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's probably
Yeah,
loads
we'll have to come up with some better answers to this for next time. Because there's probably loads that we just can't think of, like you say. But yeah, we'll try and get some better ones for that to answer it properly next time. But look, going to wrap it up there because we said before this we were going to keep it short and we have failed to do that. So
short enough for us, isn't it? We usually 2 hours.
I know, yeah, fucking hell. So look, be positive. The Reds are getting back on track this weekend. 4-0. Reece Williams hat-trick. So it's all coming together, boys. Now I'm looking forward to it for some reason. I don't know why it should be based on the last few weeks, but I am. I'm looking forward to it. It's Liverpool.
I'm looking forward to hopefully witnessing the change in. You know, there's been a few words, and we know we're not good enough at the moment, and we know we're nowhere near far enough behind to not be in the race. But the performance levels are. So I think the conversation would have been had. Listen, you're fucking not putting the plan into play. You aren't playing well. And here's the fucking free rein. Go and swat the Manx. And let's see how we go.
Basically, yeah.
So I'm going for 0-0.
That's the spirit. Now I do think we'll somehow manage to just edge it over the line and get the win. They're bad. They're really fucking bad. They do. Last couple of, I think they done well against us at Anfield last season, if I remember right. So they've obviously they can turn it up. They can turn it on against us when they have to. So we've got to be cautious. We've got to be wary of them. But if the players we've got turn up and play to the ability that we know that they have, then it could be a fucking demolition if they all turn up. So we've just got to hope they do. Yeah. And we've just got to hope they do. So 3 points at the weekend. We can come back all nice and happy next week. And until then, up the fucking Reds.
Up the Reds. Come on.